this video, please consider subscribing if you're not. Over 67% of people that watch my videos in the last couple of weeks are not subscribed, so I would love to have you here. I'm going to be here uploading every single day, whether you like it or not. Okay, on with the video. Hi, muckers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best night ever. Okay, today we're going to be continuing to dive into the nikocado, avocado, and Stephanie situation. Now, the reason that this has came up again is because in light of nikocado, avocado being absolutely overwhelmingly praised by the internet, a lot of people are excusing all of his old behavior, and one of the biggest ones was this huge situation that happened with Stephanie. Now, we knew back in the moment that this was really big, and I think kind of looking back on it now in the new perspective of I'm always 2 steps ahead, it's really interesting to go back and rewatch this. Now, we did her first video on this whenever she first spoke up about why, I think it was called Why I'm Scared of Nikocado Avocado, and we did that, and a lot of people had a really overwhelming reaction to that, kind of, you know, reliving what was happening. And I just think in the context of, you know, in his comeback video, he wore this panda mask. And that panda mask is the same one that Stephanie's husband uses to protect his privacy online. Now, a lot of people were like, well, Adam, nikocado avocado has used that mask before, so this is not about Stephanie. I'm like, okay. So what was the context of using it then? And everyone was like, well, he said that it was about, you know, in the media, like black and white and don't believe everything. And I'm like, okay. So you're not insinuating in any way that that has anything to do with poking fun at Stephanie. In my opinion, it does. You may disagree. Either way, I have been very honest about the fact that 4 years ago when this story happened, I was not following it. I knew it was happening, but I wasn't following it, and I also wasn't making videos like this at the time. And so this is a first for me, and I know that a lot of people have seen this before. I know for a lot of people this is their first. So I'm very excited to dive into this How Nikocado Manipulated All of Us video. Now, in the first one, she talks a lot about him pressuring her, and basically just crossing so many boundaries, taking videos and pictures in her house, wanting to know about her security system. Just, he was the worst to her in that video. So I'm very intrigued to see how nikocado manipulated all of us, because that means me and you as well. All right, let's get to it.
Video, because when I said that I wanted to move on, I really truly did want to move on. I wanted to work on healing myself, trying to turn something bad into something somewhat positive, and just try to be happy again. But it just seems like Nick cannot help himself but continue to lie to me, manipulate his friends, manipulate the truth, manipulate my words, and manipulate you guys. He thinks that he showed a lot of receipts that really have nothing to do with the situation, and I actually have a lot of proof, evidence, receipts, whatever you call it, and a lot of this stuff I had prior to making my first video. That honestly, if Nick had these receipts, he would have pulled them out when he made that first video, but I chose not to because this was not supposed to be drama. This was supposed to be me voicing my concern for my safety, my home privacy, and how I felt about another creator abusing their platform. But Nick, if you want to bring out all of the petty receipts and try to assassinate my character, then here you go. With that being said, please keep 2 things in mind. I'm going to be referencing 2 things a lot throughout the entirety of the video. The first being that there is unreleased footage that Nick has, and only he has it, and it's of the second mukbang that we filmed with me, Nick, and Zach. Now, this is the footage that...
Who would have thought that the mukbang community would have a drama so big that all the videos are getting almost 10 million views? And the first one got more than that. Sheesh. I've underestimated the mukbangers. My goodness. I thought y'all just ate your food in peace. Clearly not.
Interrogating me. He thinks I set him up and made faces in it. I was actually just so freaking terrified and scared in that moment. He refuses to release it for whatever reason. Please release it. You have my full consent, and let the people decide, was I making faces to set you up or was I truly scared? Now, the second thing I'm going to be referencing is my home security footage. Now, I'm unable to release it to the public because California law, but Nick, give me your consent because you claim that I lied about so many things, whereas my home security footage says otherwise. So give me your consent if you truly think I'm a liar, if you truly...
Ooh! Sorry, that's a really badass move. Yeah, obviously you need the 2-party consent. That's a really badass move to be like, if you're calling me a liar, give me consent so we can have the 2-party and I'll release it and we'll let the audience decide. Okay, Stephanie, I didn't know your game was this good. Okay.
I'm a manipulator. If you truly think that your side is the truth, let me release the footage. So those are the 2 things that I'll be referencing. Other than that, everything else I have evidence for, so I'm just gonna get started with the video. So Nick starts off his video talking about my house, which is a topic that it seems that he very much likes to talk about in videos on his channel. And I'm a little bit thrown off by this because he completely tried to assassinate my character with no proof of what actually happened. And he said that the minute that he came over, I gave him this crazy whirlwind tour showing off, saying, guess how much that couch was, guess how much that oven was, and telling him about all of these things. That is not what happened. When have I ever showed off to you, Nick? It seems like you talk about my house more than I do.
Let's first talk about her house.
If there's one thing Adam McIntyre loves is in an exposed video when people call them out on something and then they show videos of them doing it. Brilliantly played, Stephanie.
Jealous, but also happy for her. But jealous. Doesn't she have one of those ovens? It's like a 5-layer oven. Who uses that? I don't know. I really want a beautiful kitchen like Stephanie's. Her kitchen is perfect. Just because Stephanie has a beautiful house, what she does. I'm not saying oh, Stephanie's. I low-key need that security system. I mean, a cat will walk by and the fire department will come. Okay?
And all of what you saw in those videos.
And also, this is really weird that if I ever, not that they would say this if they came over to my apartment, please, but it would be really weird if I invited someone over for a collab and then they continue bringing up things about my apartment. I would be so weirded out. And the thing is, I like living in an apartment block because I feel a little bit more safe than a house standing alone. Doing that to someone who has a house standing alone, who's already a public figure, describing how expensive everything is and how amazing everything is, that can lead to them getting, broken into.
Are prior to him ever being invited into my home. And the only conversation that we had of my house prior to you entering my home was this. You asked me, we are renting our own place.
Obsessed with the receipts being up here. This is so whenever I look at the screen here. All right.
Finally, LOL, and saving to buy a nice home in the future. How are you liking your new house? And I said, oh my god, yeah, that's so exciting. It'll be so much more comfortable to film and stuff. I'm always paranoid when family's around that I'm being too loud. And it's nice to have some space to breathe since I'm always home, LOL. But now he claims the minute he came over, I said, did you see my
I think so far her biggest crime is being nice to him.
oven? Did you look at it? He spoke about my oven prior to coming over to my house.
Like a 5-layer oven. Who uses that?
And then he goes on to talk more about
He was on that, what we call it Rightmove over here, Property Pal. What do you call it in America where you can look up houses and stuff and you can see the photos? Oh, I don't know. I'm not American. Someone tell me.
Didn't I get murdered before you do?
You have the most money.
Does it work like that?
Rich bis. I would buy that over regular bis. Because I'm a rich bis. Oh, he's rich.
I did not,
You guys,
I did not say that.
I got a ride in her Tesla today.
Wow, this entire thing is him gloating about her wealth, which is really weird considering she's not the one to do it. It's like putting, oh, I don't really know how to phrase this in a way that's not bad. It's like putting a target. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. It's like putting a target on her back for the fact that she has so much money, which is very, very, very dangerous to do to someone.
I never showed off to you, and it seems like you are the one that likes to talk about it, and you are the one that likes to put words to it, such as, what's the name of your fancy security system? I want the best of the best for my future
The circling of text messages.
home. You were the one that came into my home under the disguise of wanting to ask questions for your future home, saying, oh my gosh, is that fancy Viking oven? You pointed at my pot filler and asked me if it was a pasta noodle dryer. You asked me how much my couch was. Then I took you into a different room, and then you saw my other couch, and then you said, is that the same couch Trisha Paytas has? How much is that one?
And I think you were happy to show it off to me.
I would never show that off to you or anyone for that matter. And your big waha moment in your video was that you said that I let you take a picture in front of me. So everything I said prior to that was a lie. Oh, how can I ever be uncomfortable or feel unsafe when I was right there when you took one picture, right? Well, this is a picture that you showed in your video. And then you said that you took it because you wanted to see my lighting setup, which I do remember. You said, can I take a picture of your lighting setup? I said yes. I don't know about you, but typically I'd like to get a closer shot of the actual lighting setup if I wanted a picture of the lighting setup. When I did go to the restroom, you did take pictures behind my back. And I didn't approve of those pictures. And you kept trying to make it seem like I'm crazy, I'm a manipulator for being scared of you releasing these pictures. So then you went on to release the exact pictures that I would never want on the internet.
And now, I'm aware that most people watching this will know the problems with releasing images or videos of someone's house without consent, like the problem with that. But if you're directly having photos without consent of someone's home layout and where specifically their security systems are, that if it ever got out, or even if it was just sent around, then would let people know if they were ever to break into said house where to avoid or where to cut the security cameras or whatever. Like, it is such a big fucking scary risk. And I don't know why this, I was gonna say, I don't know why this wasn't blown up to be a bigger thing. I mean, it was. I mean, look at the amount of views on this, and everyone obviously sided with her for the most part. But like, it's such a danger to take photos of someone's exact layout of their house. This is why people say, you know, you shouldn't do house tours anymore, and you shouldn't let people know what room you sleep in, what room your computer's in, what room you're, because people follow that shit and people want to break in, people want to steal, people want to threaten, and for him to do this behind her back is really, really, really bad. But I'm aware that most people are aware of that.
You released a picture of my kitchen with my security feed straight dab in the middle, and you didn't have the courtesy to blur it out. I don't know what you were interested in that picture. Was it the kitchen cabinets? Because you could have gotten more of the cabinets from a different angle. Was it the curtain? Because you could have gotten more of the curtain from a different angle. Now, I, without your consent, cannot release the security footage of you taking pictures when I go to the restroom, but you release this picture. And if you zoom in closely, you're alone in my kitchen taking this picture.
Wow. That's a big ass Christmas tree.
When I was in the bathroom.
I've never recorded anyone ever without their consent. I took a photo with her consent.
And then you went on to further assassinate my character by saying that you and Orlin were FaceTiming and I gave him another whirlwind tour of how much money this couch is. And you know that's not true. You went around the living areas, you pointed at the couch, you pointed at my countertops. Orlin asked me if it was quartz or marble, and I said, I think it's terracotta. And you guys said, no, that's a pattern, doesn't mean anything. And I said, oh, okay, I don't know then. Seeing this was weird just because I don't know anyone who takes screenshots of FaceTimes. Speaking of FaceTiming Orlin, this is where my fiance wants to say a couple words. You do a lot of these micro-aggressive things that nobody could really talk about. And that's why I felt so scared to talk in my first video, because technically, are you really that scary, I thought? But these are the things that you do. You take pictures, you post it. I don't know why you ever would think that that's okay to post.
I mean, it's just a little strange, you know, when he was showing. He said, hey, let me show you what food we're eating. He switched the camera on his phone, but instead of pointing the camera down onto the kitchen counter, it was
where the food is.
But it was to my face for a good 3 seconds. So my reaction was, okay, now this is awkward. Do I act like I don't know what's going on? Do I say something? Do I turn around? But at the same time, I don't want to overreact. It's just a little weird and uncomfortable.
I mean, it's a clear disrespect of boundaries within their house, and it's sad that they felt that they couldn't call him out in their own house.
It's like one of those things where you can't call him out on it and be like, what are you doing? Because then you seem insane. But it's also another thing because Nick knows that my fiance is very private. He doesn't really like being in front of cameras.
Which we know.
So like the picture.
Yeah.
It's like you ask, then that's okay. But when you do it so weirdly, then I don't want to seem like I'm so sensitive. So that's why after he switched the camera to the food, I walk up to him and introduce myself, because I don't want to seem like I'm this guy that's
like you're so important.
I pretend like I don't know what's going on. So I just want to take charge and say, hey, you know, let me just properly introduce myself, or instead of pretending, you know, nothing happened.
You do something and it makes people uncomfortable, but they can't voice their concerns because they would seem like the crazy ones. And then if they do voice your concerns, you say something like, it was just innocent admiring of her home.
I was admiring her furniture, and this is innocent stuff. It's not like I walked into her house like this.
And the way he's still showing the footage, like, what the fuck?
You did not come in.
This is just like why I think it's important to revisit this. I don't appreciate everyone being like, oh my god, he's a genius for this social experiment. You can't excuse all this in social experiment. He actually was a bad person.
Into our house doing this, but you did a lot of things that we weren't comfortable with.
Why would you lie about why would you lie about something like that?
Okay, so give me your consent to release the security footage.
There's another thing actually on Zach's channel. At the end of it, there's like one piece of chicken left. And we turn off the cameras and we go, well, how Zach does his collabs is very similar to mine. Remember, say we know how to edit? We're YouTubers, we edit all the time. Zach literally, every time, say he's eating a chicken leg, He'll eat the chicken
I don't know if I've ever seen a well-edited nikocado avocado video, by the way.
leg, and when he's done, he'll cut it. Take a break, wipe the sweat off, it's very hot in his box. Take some water, adjust the mics, think of what's gonna happen next, and then go for it. So we edit after every chicken leg or every bite. And the last scene, we had discussed, it was Stephanie's idea that she would have the last leg and I would look at her like, ooh, what you doing? Because I'm, you know, the fat pig that loves to eat. And it was literally following what me and Trisha had done, where we sat there with our noodles and we looked at each other and we glared. Well, people are taking that clip now and saying, here's proof of Nick looking at Stephanie all creepily. And that was her idea. I didn't even realize until when I watched the video that I was like, she wasn't looking back at me either. It was a YouTube video. There was no thought into it, looking at each other. She didn't even look at me. And I say to myself, why would she say to do this, where we look at each other, who's going to go for the last chicken leg, and then when the cameras are rolling, she just looks at the screen.
Well, I don't understand this. He's saying, like, why did she not look at me as well? It was a planned bit. Well, why is he if that is the truth, why is he continuing to do it so much, knowing that she's not doing it? You know what I mean? Like, she's not looking back at you. You're the one that's still choosing to do this.
As if she doesn't know what I'm doing over there. Like, what the hell, man?
This is one of those moments where I saw this video and you had said this blatant lie with so much conviction, no evidence, just such a strong voice that I was like, did I do that? And so I reached out to Zach and he has the full unedited version of that, and this is what happened.
Oh God, I can't listen to this, and I'm not gonna make you listen to it as well. Blah blah blah. I don't wanna hear this. Don't wanna hear this. Okay, honestly, I'm just gonna put this on mute. The last chicken wing clip sped up with no breaks in between and no jump cuts. I really couldn't listen to this if someone paid me to. Wow, so Zach is leaking the information as well to show that nothing really happened. So why do you that cheese looks gross. I couldn't watch these videos. So I mean, if you love them, you love them. That water does look really good though. Who's watching this?
I used some good comments. So she had the last thing, right? They were eating, I was just sitting here and I was going like this.
Like, just be real.
Oh! So it wasn't even a talked about thing. He decided to do it. Oh, that's brittle. Brittle.
Just be real.
And that was her idea. I didn't even realize until when I watched the that I was like, she wasn't looking back at me either. Why would she say to do this, where we look at each other, who's going to go for the last chicken leg, and then when the cameras are rolling,
Shout out to Zach for having the unedited footage.
she just looks at the screen as if she doesn't know what I'm doing over there. They were eating, I was just sitting here and I was going like this.
Like, what the hell, man?
So, are you lying or is that footage lying? Now, the next thing that he brings up in his video is about Veronica. The way that he approached this topic, I thought was so incredibly manipulative because he made it seem like I had this dirty little secret, and I don't. These are receipts that really didn't matter in the long span of things, and I think that the reason he didn't understand that or didn't care to is because maybe he doesn't know the difference between talking to someone and then posting it together onto the internet versus talking about someone and then posting it onto the internet. Those are very, very different things. So I'm gonna read you guys some of the text messages that he showed because he failed to read a lot of the important parts of it. I wanted to make this docuseries and I wanted to highlight not only everything that happened with Mukbang and including what happened between Veronica and I, but also all of the personal conflicts that were involved. I wanted it to be less drama focused, but more about the personal struggles behind all of the decisions that were made. My goal would be that things that need to be talked out can be and would shine a new perspective and light onto all parties involved. So Nick is framing his story as if I absolutely hate Veronica and I just couldn't wait to talk shit about Veronica and I want to do all of these exposing videos about her with Nick because I want drama and I want views. And to give you guys some perspective, this is what I said to Veronica, which Nick has never seen. We didn't leave on the best terms. And she said, "Hey Steph, I hope you're doing..."
Wow, she has all the receipts. You know one thing I love? Someone coming prepared. I like making my own mind up.
But I just wanted to let you know I've missed you. I also recently got accepted into a couple culinary schools in California, so I might be moving there for a year. I'll be there this week looking at apartments and was wondering if you'd like to meet up for food to talk. Let me know your thoughts. I responded, "Hey, yeah, I know it's been forever since we last spoke. We did leave off in such a shitty way, but I'm glad you reached out. I know it's super awkward after everything that's happened, but I'm genuinely happy that things are going super well for you. Bottom of my heart, congrats on all your success with culinary school. Let me know what days you'd be here. I'd love to talk." Now, at this point, I did have this idea of doing a docuseries because I felt like, well, Veronica might be in LA and...
What year was this? Let me guess. 2019? Well, 2nd of January 2019. Oh, so it would have been 2019. These little docuseries on YouTube were huge. Weren't they? Huge year for the docuseries genre. Conspiracy series. Woo.
Publicly, nobody really understood.
And the Oscar goes to...
what happened behind the scenes because I never wanted to speak on it without Veronica. And so I thought that it'd be very nice to sit down. It had been a couple months. The drama had kind of concluded. And to just show that there's a lot of real people behind the drama. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to showcase different perspectives of not just me, but Veronica and of Nick. You know, I would also like to showcase a side of you that shows that you're not just here for the drama, but you're here for the underdogs. And the words she said to you hurt you and not just angered you. I would also like people to see a little glimpse of...
So this was to Nick.
Nikocado, obviously to your comfort, just like how my perspective changed when I actually got to meet you in person. I don't know how he took this and twisted it so out of context to make it seem like I am obsessed with Veronica and I need to get an apology from her and she did me so dirty and I just will not let it go. I ran the idea by Veronica. This is what I DM'd her after we spoke on the phone. I said, "I'm glad we got to speak on the phone. I know we barely touched the surface on how we felt, but at least we kind of know where each other's minds are. I hope I communicated everything across well, but I do want to mention that I don't want the entire thing to be so past motivated. I also thought it would be interesting to show everyone your culinary journey and your true passion in food. Show different sides and dimensions to you that not everyone may necessarily know." Again.
Sounds good so far.
That is what I told the group chat, and that is what I told Veronica. And Nick claims that I didn't do it because Nick didn't want to be a part of it. In reality, Veronica shut me down. She's moved on. She's thriving.
This has been, what, 8 months, 9 months? I can't do math. A very long time since it happened, and it's still looming over her head.
If you don't know the difference between exposing someone, a tea video, spilling the tea, versus having a productive adult conversation, then I don't know. That seems like it's on you.
It was going on and 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 on about all of this stuff between her and Veronica. I didn't even ask her.
This was last year in December 24th. Why do you think Veronica kept saying you told her to do that and that you agreed they were stolen? I read your comment, and if you didn't speak to her until after the fact, why was she straight up lying to all your supporters about it? I did. Oh
my god, he's a little shit starter, isn't he? Was this part of his social experiment as well, being an awful person behind the scenes?
He said, "Also, your microwave promo. They told me you're doing it too. Haha." I didn't answer. Christmas Day, he texted me. Question mark, question mark?
On Christmas Day! On Christmas Day! Wow, following up on drama on Christmas Day?
And so I said on the next day after Christmas, "Hey, sorry, it was Christmas today and I just wanted to spend some time away from all of this. I can't speak for Veronica, but I hope you can understand where I stand on this, and I would love to stay out of the situation since I believe I wasn't involved to begin with. But I hope you have a wonderful Christmas." And yes, the microwave is super cool. It even bakes lasagna. I was shook. It has truly enabled my lazy side. And he said, "It must suck that I went from hearing her out to Stephanie agreed they were stolen, and Stephanie agreed they should come down, to also Stephanie said she wants to address this in her video. But you're saying you don't want to make a video and you don't want them to come down. Complete opposite of what she said you told her."
On fucking Boxing Day? He's doing all this? What? Oh my god. Have a day off. Have a day off. Do not message me with anything serious from Christmas Eve to New Year's Day. I am out of order. Don't try this bullshit on that time period, specifically the couple hours after Christmas Day. God, this is what I just did. Like, people excusing all of his behavior and being like, oh my God, genius, social experiment. This is not giving social experiment.
I saw her on Sass post today saying she just generalized, but that's far from generalization because now all your subs are confused. Might be good to clear things up for everyone, just what I think. I know you don't want to be involved, feel so bad for you, but at the end of the day, she involved you and there's no going back. I don't want to speak for you, nor should she, and if you ignore it on your own page, your subs might feel hurt or draw conclusions.
Wow, this is so gaslighty and so manipulative to insinuate that, like, you need to do this now or else your subscribers are going to be pissed at you.
Most people do not read the comments. December 27th. Question mark, question mark?
Oh my
December
God.
31st. Stephanie, I see you following my stories every day, but my messages go...
We're not on New Year's Eve. You're supposed to be 10, 9, 8, Happy New Year. You're following up for the third day in a row of being ignored on drama. Oh, but it was a social experiment.
Go unanswered, LOL. January 1st. Question mark, question mark? And
4 days.
again, saying that I didn't want to be involved. Nick, you went on and on and on and on and on about Veronica in the videos that you made about her. You went on and on about her in my DMs. You went on and on and on about her at dinner when we first met. And you went on and on and on about her in that footage of that mukbang that you refused to release. So please, you have my full consent.
Just 2 weeks ago was in Los Angeles. It was still looming over her head then too, and I'm going to get into that. She's giving Veronica a lot of credit here, an opportunity for all of us to right our wrongs and dig deep into meaningful conversation, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so do I hate Veronica and I have this thing looming over my head, or am I trying to have deep, meaningful conversations and am I giving Veronica too much credit? Which one is it?
This lady has so much upset feelings against Veronica Wang.
God, this is so crazy. And then reading those text messages 4 days in a row, by the way, being left on red, being like, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, answer me.
So it will come across to the viewers as you trying to bring her back to being liked by everyone again.
So do I have so much upset feelings about Veronica, or am I trying to bring her back? Which one?
Yeah, that's such a fair point. He keeps insinuating this point that she has this resentment, but then is literally saying that she's trying to, like, create a safe space for Veronica.
3 months later, she's still very, very upset about Veronica. Zach says when Stephanie realizes it will take months to film anything meaningful.
So am I still very, very, very upset, or am I trying to film something meaningful? Which one's the truth?
Pitched me an idea to collab with me, Honey Eats, Kimmy, and herself to put on her channel.
You say that I pitched an idea to you. You kind of took it out of context a little bit. February 28th, you said, hey, how are you? I'm loving your videos. Quick question for ya. I'm coming to LA either late March or start of April. Would you like to collab? And so I said, hey Nick, thank you so much for reaching out and even thinking of me. I've always been inspired by your daily posting and videos since the beginning of my YouTube journey, so I feel honored.
I love this opening being so nice because you know she's going to say no.
I just think right now might not be the best timing because the drama is still a bit fresh, and I think seeing us together will just stir the pot more. I hope you understand and can see where I'm coming from. I feel like it would be a disservice to our viewers if our first videos together were clouded with everything that's happened. I hope that once the community has moved past the recent happenings, we can bring them some amazing videos together. Now, just so he doesn't try to take this out of context again, like I had mentioned, just me doing a video with Nick would make it seem like I'm taking a side in the drama, whereas me doing a video with Veronica and Nick and talking about everything that's happened with everyone that it involved, that's just having an adult conversation. So then I said, wait, so I was...
So I'm saying it literally just seems like he wanted Stephanie for himself so that it could further fuel the drama.
And I realized I think Kimi is here beginning of April. So Kimi reached out to me seeing if I wanted to collab. And if you guys are here at the same time, maybe we can do an epic mukbang collab with you, me, Kimi, and Honey. I think when it's just us two on screen at this point in time, it might stir the drama. But if we have all four of us, it'll be so insane and never done before. Let me know what you think, and we can all try to coordinate if you're down. He went on.
You know, I've opened up about my hatred of eating noises, and people were saying what that is in the comment section. If I was filming the mukbang with 4 people sat side to side, I would go crazy. That noise. Oh. No.
I'm already collabing with Honey. I actually felt bad for turning down the collab with just you, and at the same time, Kimi had reached out and said that she was going to be in LA, and so I thought this would be a cool idea. Now, usually when YouTubers collab, they do one video for every single person's channel. So please don't make it look like I'm just trying to get AdSense money. when you're the one that reached out first?
I felt that she was very self-serving. Only reaches out to us if she wants something out of us.
Nick, when have I ever reached out for you for anything other than that time about the docuseries? Which, by the way, I didn't care if you wanted to get involved or not. You knew that. I told Zach, hey, I think I want to do it with Veronica regardless of Nick. Have I ever reached out to you for anything? Collabs, information, security system advice, sponsorships, CPMs? But here's Nick reaching out to me. I have a quick question. Have you experienced low CPM on your channels for November? Microwave promo. They told me you're doing it. Question mark. Are you doing that CBS interview? Do you want to collab? Stephanie? And did you put your home into a land trust? By the way, would the 8th and the 9th work good for you? Seems to have pros and cons. What do you think? Would you have felt better in a gated neighborhood?
She typed in question mark into the search of messages, and she's putting everything up he's ever questioned.
Do you think that your property gate fence with cameras is good enough? Have you heard of Ring Security Camera? What's the name of your fancy security system? I'd like to research it. Are you happy with your home? Would you like to film together?
I felt that she was very self-serving.
You're the one that reached out to me. You're the one that asked to collab when apparently you didn't even like me.
And
You did it at my birthday.
didn't really like her. I didn't even know her.
And you're the one that made all of these videos using my name for views, which I don't mind. And you call me self-serving because I wanted to have this big 4-way collab with you, me, Kimi, and Honey. And you go on to say, Honey doesn't like her, Kimi doesn't like her.
Honey Eats doesn't like her. Kimmy doesn't like her.
Again, using other people's words publicly to hurt and humiliate other people. But I didn't know that at the time. But you knew that you didn't like me at the time. But you still wanted to collab so that our collaboration videos would get views. Who's really self-serving?
This is not my fault. This is no one's fault but hers.
I think Stephanie's trying to capitalize on it. Remember what I said my first impression of Stephanie was? It was awesome. She was so nice. We went out to eat. We hung out for like 7 hours. She had like little gifts for me. She had like this nice little champagne and little snacks and a nice card. My first impression of Stephanie was very self-serving. I didn't give her a gift. We were just gonna hang out and get to know each other. That was my first impression. Like, warm and bubbly, gave me a hug, said hello. Very self-serving.
Here's my thing. When someone's making an exposed video, are you not aware of what you've also said online? Like, directly contradicting yourself?
Los Angeles gift for me, and I'm like, wow.
She seems like she would be a nice person.
Very.
So that's the truth.
So which one's the truth?
I didn't really like her. I love Stephanie Sue because I tell it like it is.
This is where I'm going to be reading some text messages that I had prior to filming my first video. And the reason that I didn't read it is because I didn't want to get other people involved. I didn't want to just drag people into the mess. And I also felt like after knowing who Nick was as a person, that I just didn't want to put anyone else in his line of fire. But Nick, you didn't care, and you used Zach's text messages from months ago out of context and manipulated them without his permission.
Oh, wow. So even Zach went on the line saying that he doesn't agree with Nick. Wow, where was I during this time? I would have ate this up at literally mukbang collab.
Between you and Zach from 3 weeks ago. And I think that this is a problem that everyone should be alarmed by, is that you didn't ask Zach for that permission, and a lot of it was taken out of context, where he said, I wonder who her actual friends are. This didn't help your lie at all. This didn't help your narrative at all. But you put it in there because this is yet again another way for you to manipulate other people's words that they say in private. And then you use it and put it on the internet to humiliate and hurt other people. Zach has apologized privately. And for me, I'm just going to choose to judge his character by his actions and not by something that was manipulated by you. I've obtained Zach's permission to read these text messages aloud today.
She told me in my apartment, she told me in the car, she told me out of her house that we were going to discuss Veronica on my channel because she egged it on so rich off camera.
These happened the night when I got home from the collab. We're talking about if you were going to post the footage because at this point we were even scared to ask you to not post it. Zach tried, it didn't really work. And so at 2:58, Zach said, I honestly don't think he cares that he's gonna look bad. Also,
Wow, these YouTubers are so real because they stay up late, honey. 3 a.m. and messaging about this. Oh, they're so real. I'm filming this at fucking 1 a.m. They are so real.
I don't think he gets it either. I was telling him the whole time after how it was going to be perceived, but he didn't seem to get it and just chalked it up to his audience being dumb. And I responded, but all audiences are always smarter than the YouTuber thinks. I don't know why he thinks that. And then Zach said, that's what makes me think.
Because remember, he's always 2 steps ahead, 2 steps ahead. Little ants, little ants.
I asked him privately if he was going to go in about Veronica, and he said no. And I responded with, oh my God, he didn't want me to get a f***ing heads up. I don't know if he doesn't care at all about me or if he thinks I'm a literal idiot. Okay, but deadass now, since we know where he stands, does he actually like me or did he just want a f***ing video to try and expose me? I'm literally asking myself the same exact question. So he didn't say anything to you? Our asses got played. I asked him so many times what you guys...
Again, keep reiterating this point. Is this part of the social experiment literally tormenting people? I don't think so.
He always said he'd stay away from Veronica because he knew it would make you uncomfortable. That's why I was so surprised when he said you wanted to clear the air and talk about it. He made it look like you really wanted to talk about her so bad, you planned the discussion ahead of time. And I said, he said to me yesterday that all the comments are going to talk about mukbang, so it would be stupid to act like we don't even know. And in my head, I'm thinking, the last thing I want to do is him bring up some shady shit about Veronica, like the hood comment, which he did in his video.
Have you heard that in the hood, miss? That when you look at yourself with the viewfinder, you're narcissistic? I've heard that all over the hood.
And try to make it seem like I'm a 12-year-old giggling.
Ooh, that's not in the sense that...
About it as if I hate her. So I said, yeah, I'm down to acknowledge that it did happen and that's our first interaction and I don't have any negative feelings about me and you about the situation. But he made it seem like it was a Veronica video. And he said he had a title in mind. So what are we gonna do? You're saying that I wanted to talk so much about Veronica, but then you told Zach that you weren't gonna talk about Veronica and I would be uncomfortable. And you knew that. Which one's the truth?
But my regular audience, they know that I go like this. You go like this, I'll take it out. And that's what I tell everybody. I told her the minute she was in my...
When I'm in collabs next, I'm going to start doing this. It's like in Real Housewives and they go, bravo, bravo, bravo. Who knows that? Love you if you do.
She didn't even ask me at the end of the video, oh, could you take that part out actually? But you know, I'm really uncomfortable. She didn't even say anything. She didn't even say anything.
And this is a text message that Zach sent me on Sunday, December 22nd. This was a day after my video went up. And he said, I do remember telling him you were uncomfortable right after the camera stopped rolling and how it would look bad because he kept badgering you for information. We both also know how Nick would have reacted if I had turned his camera off or interrupted the video.
I told her the minute she was in my kitchen.
So no, Nick, neither of us could have just done this and you would have stopped.
What people see of Stephanie Sue on the internet is not the Stephanie Sue that people off camera know her as.
I think like people like the fact that you're just this crazy person and that's just really who you are. Like whatever you guys see on her mukbang, because I've been on her mukbang before, well, this bitch is fucking insane. She's just rambling like a maniac. That's just how she is. That's just who she is. And
That's
I think
true. On and off the camera, that's why we all love her, is because you're not fake. You are who you are. Yeah. The same mukbang creature that I see is the same one that goes to dinner with.
It's there, I tell ya.
I'm sorry if I don't take your word for it over theirs.
In Stephanie's video, saying she doesn't know how to say no to me, she's so afraid for it. She said no to me lots of different times. She said no to me over dinner.
Look at what happened when I did say no to you, when I was terrified of you. This is in my first video. I said, hey guys, sorry I've been in and out of sleep all afternoon. You said you just now realized? Stephanie, I've been sitting here for 5 hours when you were going in.
Again, this is such a good point to throw in his face that he's saying like, I've always been great when she said no. And this literal example we watched in the first one, he freaks the fuck out when she doesn't do what he wants. But social experiment, right, guys?
Sleep. You should have picked up the phone and given me a call, not leave me hanging. You didn't like it when Veronica did that to you. And then during this group chat, when you said, awesome, when would you like to reschedule? Prior to doing that, you had already texted Zach privately saying, notice how her text to us didn't mention rescheduling? LMAO. I'm exposing her tonight.
Okay, well, let's reschedule. I said that because I knew she wouldn't want to reschedule. So I was literally playing with her. I'm like, she's not. I was literally texting. I was calling Zach at the same time. I told him, I was like, I know she's not gonna say she's gonna reschedule.
And then you proceeded to post all of these on social media.
I did it because I was saying, look, I have people on my side.
So look at what happens when I say no to you.
I was getting lightheaded and scared, thinking about having to put eye drops in my eyes. I'm a scaredy cat. I scream and cry if my finger gets poked from a king crab leg. I am a very timid, like, scaredy cat.
He's an empath. Oh, someone call Shane Dawson. Meow.
Type of guy. Emotional manipulation is not what I did to you.
Please go watch my first video. There have been a lot of questions about my first video. A lot coming from Nick and a lot of his viewers asking me why I felt the need to put in his clips about the Me Too movement from a video that he deleted from his channel. And the reason that I felt that is because, like I said in the first video, it was a pattern of behavior. This is the definition of pattern of behavior. I linked the video and I'm gonna link it again because to me, that video showed me a lot. I never implied that Nick sexually harassed me. I never implied that Nick did anything illegal. I never implied that Nick committed crimes towards me or towards anybody else. I feel like a lot of us run off patterns. I don't know if I'm the only one, but if someone makes a mistake, you forgive them. But if they continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, and they hurt people every single time, I think that's very dangerous, and I think that's very alarming. I did get an email and a DM from someone. Posting that video was really scary because I felt like even after I posted it, I'm crazy. I'm over dramatic. That's what I am. But I was scared. So I posted the video, and within a couple hours, I got an email and a DM from someone, and they showed me proof that they had met Nick in New York, and they showed me pictures of their Snapchat between him and Nick, talking about that date. So if you guys aren't familiar, again, I'm gonna link that video in the description, but Nick had a date in New York City, and he claims that he didn't belittle the Me Too movement, and he was a little bit upset that he had spent a lot of time and perfume and money on food for this guy that he met in New York, and they didn't do anything afterwards. And he said,
The video was really gross.
It
was really gross, and it was also like really crazy. Like, it's almost laughable. He was like, the perfume was expensive, and I put it on, and it was all for a waste. Okay, maybe let's not expect people to do what you want sexually, just because you put perfume on.
Posted my video that day. He said, Nikocado did it to me. I am that boy that little Me Too video is about. I would love to talk to you about it. We have a lot in common. I have all the screenshots as well. And then he showed me screenshots of Snapchat and a picture that he took with Nick. And I said, hey, I got your email. I'm so sorry that something like this is how we're connecting for the first time, but thank you so much for reaching out. I'm so sorry for what happened in New York. I'm sorry you had to watch a video being made about you like that because the night didn't go as planned. Are you okay? He said, yes, I really was not in the moment. I was so scared because he kept making all these posts about how he was going to tell this big story about me. And I kept begging him to not post anything about me because unlike him, I'm just a regular person with no level of fame. In the original video, he showed me, but with an emoji over my face, and proceeded to call me a loser. It was just so crazy because like he did to you, he made me feel so comfortable in person when we first met. We talked all night, and then when I left, he gave me a hug and said it was nice meeting you, and I said it was nice meeting him too. So I thought we left on good terms. Then on Snapchat, he told me he was pissed that I didn't hook up with him. And I was so confused because I thought we left happy. And then he went and filmed that rant video about me, and he got so much hate for it, he took it down. And then he made another one about me, but once again got hate and took it down. But it's scary because we filmed a regular video, so he has that footage of me, in addition to some naked pictures. I was so happy when it was all over because he could have destroyed me, and still could.
Again, for the people that are praising nikocado for this social experiment, is that also part of it? Is that also part of it? Threatening to expose someone because they don't act in a sexual way that you want them to? Is that part of the social experiment? Seems like there's a lot of rewriting history and a lot of forgetting history going on here on the internet right now.
That was highly relevant to Nick's pattern of behavior. And if I hadn't made that video, I wouldn't have spoken to this guy from New York. I wouldn't have known that he felt exactly the way I felt, scared, confused, threatened, bullied. So yes, I think it's important to point out people's patterns of behavior, especially if it's a creator who's using their platform to threaten and to bully others. I don't really have the words. I'm disgusted that someone abused their platform and voice to make you feel afraid for what was going to happen if he exposed you or your private conversations. There's a huge imbalance of power since he knew that you didn't have a large audience. I truly, truly am so sorry for what he's done. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. If you need anything to help you through this process and to stop feeling the fear of him having these private pictures hanging over your head, I'm here for you. And he responded with, thank you so much. I just wanted to reach out to you because when I was watching your video, I understood all of it. He is a mental abuser. He did almost the exact same thing to the both of us. And it's so great that you made that video because I'm sure we are not the only people he did this to. So if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here too. If something comes up where he attacks you or something and you want me to tell my story, I'd consider doing it because he really needs to be stopped. Those are my thoughts and those are his thoughts. But again, feel free to make your own opinion.
She alluded and insinuated that she was there by the way of me and my requests. What she forgot to tell you was the truth. And the truth was, we were there because she asked us to be. That was not in her schedule. Stephanie Sue invites herself into my collab with Zach.
Zach responded with, didn't we all agree that the video would perform better if all three of us were in it though? And Nick said,
It might, but that's not the point. So he's agreeing that he lied.
that's not the point.
Wow, Zach's a real one for giving all these screenshots.
What I gotta tell you was the truth. She invites herself into it. That was not for her. It wasn't for her to be there.
And then Zach said, the video that was...
Considering how much nikocado has begged her for podcasts or, collaborations, please.
To get everyone in the same video with you, me, Honey, and Stephanie? And Nick said, that's not what she told me. I have the screenshots. And then Zach said, I think she had the idea for a mukbang, but the one I asked you and Honey about that you declined was my idea. And he said, yep, that was the third time she had done that. Zach said, oh. And Nick said, which is why I never told you a reason as to why I turned it down, because I didn't want to gossip with somebody I didn't know well. Anyways, she's definitely a piece of work and a bad liar. Nobody stands somebody up for a collab, then blames it on a sponsor.
I'm so obsessed with Zach responds. I just don't want to say something was her idea when it was mine. Or you say it was someone, blah, blah. Let me start that from the start. I just don't want you to say something was her idea when it was mine. I'm obsessed with nikocado avocado disliking the message. And he goes, I'm about to film. Talk to you later.
Zach said, I just don't want you to say something was her idea when it was mine, LOL. Which is exactly what Nick did in his response video. He said that I pushed myself into the ASMR collabs. And Zach is saying, well, maybe you shouldn't say that because that was actually my idea. And Nick did a thumbs down on it. And then he said, I know, it's been a different time. I'm about to film TTYL.
So that's the truth.
She's very, self-serving.
She seems very manipulative. Just rude. I don't know how these people were raised.
So that's the truth.
You're using private conversations that you had with your friends talking badly about me. It's a pattern of you posting people's private conversations in order to further your own.
Saying it ultimately exposes him in the long run for what she's accusing him of doing, which is exposing private conversations and not respecting boundaries.
Narrative. And these were the receipts that you were showing. And I've never spoken to Carly Steele. I'm not sure how you can say her opinion about me is the truth.
That is just not the truth.
So you said that a lot of your frustration was coming from that I ghosted you and you have problems with people ghosting you.
Blew me off the next day for our collabs. This is where a lot of my frustration was coming from.
I texted you in the group chat at 5:05 and I said, I know that you're in LA for only a couple more days and have a lot scheduled. Again, I'm so sorry for today and I hope you're able to enjoy the rest of your day. That was at 5:05 p.m. At 5:18 p.m., which is, you texted Carly Steele saying, bitch, I'm being ghosted by Stephanie Sue right now. The definition of ghosting is the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communication.
15 minutes.
It is just really crazy how little respect he has for other people's time. Oh my god, if I don't respond to you in 15 minutes, that's not ghosting. If I don't respond to you for 15 hours, that's not ghosting. Sometimes I don't respond to people for 15 days, and I genuinely, I don't mean anything by it, I just forget. And again, it's a character flaw, but oh my god, grow up.
Later.
I am so sorry that I ghosted you for 13 minutes.
And now she's willing to do it because it's nikocado avocado and she's gonna get clicks.
Earlier, you said that I wanted to do a collab with 4 people, with you, me, Kimi, and Henny, and post it on my channel because I want views and money. But then now you're saying that I pushed my way into a collab on Zach's channel because that would get more views for me, which means more exposure. But that's contradicting with your text messages with Zach. But on top of that, I think I would have done just fine on Zach's channel without you.
When you go to the office and your boss assigns you on a project, but you and Steve have to do this project together, and you don't really like Steve, you're gonna do it because that's your job.
I only collab with people.
I've just clocked the fact that this video came out like a couple weeks before COVID started. This started COVID. Like Nikocado's drama in the world. It's like, you know, whenever people say, what was it? Lady Gaga's Chromatica started COVID. Or what was the other one? Nikocado Avocado being a shitty person. The world was like, you have Nikocado Avocado that we want to inflict something so bad on you that we are going to give you a global pandemic. It was like people used to make that joke who didn't like Lady Gaga. They'd be like, God is, you know, so angry at Lady Gaga for releasing Stupid Love as the main single, so he gave us a global pandemic. By the way, global pandemic's not funny. I'm just trying to make light of something. That's what this reminds me of. What was the other one? There was another one. Oh, it was Justin Bieber's Yummy. God. The internet really has a way of handling serious things, don't they? Crazy.
That I liked you at the time. I didn't know that it was just a job for you. I didn't know YouTube was just a job for you.
That's your job. You don't have to be best friends and cuddly with people to eat together, to film together.
Stephanie Sue, I love you.
It's not that big of a deal.
God, she's really clocking in this video.
It's not a numbers game, but she's collabed with who? Veronica Wang and He Loves Life. That's it. What's that saying? Those who fear the least have the least to hide. Something like that.
Stop hiding the unreleased footage, Nick. Release the footage that you have where you interrogated me about Veronica. And also, give me your consent to release my home security footage where you took pictures when I went to the bathroom, you looked up at my security cameras, you took a picture of my security feed, which you showed in your video, very uncomfortably pointing the camera into my fiance's face.
But she put a sale on every single one of her items.
He says things again with so much conviction, no evidence, but so much confidence that you believe it. But I didn't just put a sale on it. I got a text message Saturday, December 21st, and this was from my manager at Fanjoy, who is the big company that runs our merch. And they said, hi, we're having an end of the year site-wide sale starting December 24th through January 4th, with everything being 15% off.
She's never had a sale there before, as far as I know. But why now?
If you don't know, then maybe don't act like you know, because I had a lot of sales there before.
Gag.
You know what's also strange too? She wore her merchandise shirt in her accusation video.
I really like my merch. I wear it a lot. I don't know. Maybe you should pick one up. You said you would get one if it said Rich Biz, so
I would buy that over regular Biz, because I'm a rich Biz.
maybe I'll make that.
That's what I'm saying. Zach is right.
Stop speaking for others.
70 hours later, she had a merch line, a company, an artist. She produced it.
Shout out to Fanjoy. I didn't get a merch designer or a producer. Fanjoy actually sent me the design really, really quickly during the holidays, and they did that because they wanted to help a good cause. So, shout out to you.
And she rarely uses their logos, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, because it's subliminal
Because again, she has it here. 100% of the proceeds goes to stomp out bullying.
marketing, and that comes at a high price. And she says unless a company is paying her for that service, she's not going to hand it to them.
This is a lie, too.
Why do you keep speaking for me? I never said that. The thing with the tags, I've never really seen any other YouTuber except for Nick talk about tags as if it's like this crazy big thing. I remember that I was so alarmed when he made this Eat with Q exposing video.
This woman copied and pasted, plagiarized every little single thing.
And I knew that he was going to be looking at my tags, and I wanted to tell him, like, hey, I know you're seeing this. Like, I'm not plagiarizing you.
She was sticking in tags that belonged to me in the exact same order.
This is crazy. It's just tags. I've just never seen another YouTuber talk about it. Nick gets really offended, and he thinks that he was set up by me, and that...
That's also a really crazy thing to say, that, like, insinuating there was anything wrong with her copying his tags. people within the same community basically use the same tags. Like, it's probably a given that anyone who makes a drama commentary uses pretty similar tags that I do, and I use pretty similar to them. It's literally just how it works. You type in things related to the video, and then it promotes it to that audience. It's not rocket science. And if you're making videos similar to other people, you're going to have similar tags.
Did this for, I don't know, probably months, right? Is his thought. And it's because I saw him in his Instagram post and I liked his Instagram picture of him threatening to expose me. I don't know if you guys have had a moment like this where you go from being scared to being threatened, and then you have this moment of you're like sitting on the toilet and you're like, you know what, bitch? Double tap. Ooh, stood up to a bully. And then you're like, shoot, I'm scared again. To be fair, to give Nick some credit, I do think that he is a little bit sensitive to me watching his stories, because December 31st of last year, 2018, he said, Stephanie, I see you following my stories every day, but my messages go unanswered.
God, I remember whenever I used to watch Who Watched My Stories. Now I'm like, oh, it's a free-for-all. But, like, that's crazy behavior. Specifically, if you have, like, millions of followers, because, like, there's so many people that watch your stories. But if you're from, like, a small town, you get, like, 20 viewers. Like, obviously, then you want to look. But if, like, you're searching through millions of people to try find Stephanie, like, that's a little bit crazy behavior.
So, since December of 2018 till now, he's been very, very watchful of if I watch his stories. I don't know. I think that's a little weirder.
Only Instagram post of mine that Stephanie Sue has ever liked.
I think it's strange that you know that that's the only picture I liked. I don't know if that's the only picture I liked, but if you know that for a fact, that's a little strange to me.
She says, I've loved everything I've seen on Twitter.
I don't have Twitter, but I have like friends who have Twitter, and they've been texting me screenshots of all the support on Twitter. I don't have Twitter. Please don't make assumptions of what I've seen on Twitter.
Neither one of her videos did she sit there and say, hey guys, make sure you don't bully either.
That is just not the truth.
She's sitting there watching it, and she's not saying a peep. Again, I'm not holding it against her. She should have said this shit. And she's not saying a peep.
I was trying really hard to move on. Maybe I should have addressed it more and more. Yeah, that's on me. But I was really just trying not to freak out and go back to that space again after being bullied by you. And that is 100% my fault. So if I never made it clear, which I thought that I did, I will once again, please do not bully anyone. Because I know what it feels like to be bullied, and it's not okay. And it doesn't feel good, and nobody deserves it. But what I do want to say is that I think, if anything, I can do my best to say, please don't bully anyone. I can't control every single person, but please, if you're listening to this and you care about anything I say, please do.
And also, there's a difference between bullying and people feeling passionate that they want to defend someone that they really like.
Not bully anybody. But I think, Nick, maybe you could have done something too. Maybe you could have spoken up and said, hey, guys, none of the people in the tags knew about the story of In-N-Out, or said, hey, Kenny had no idea about anything, and that was my fault. When I watched your story about the In-N-Out and all the people that you tagged, I was hurt by it. I felt bullied by it. But at the same time, maybe you could have spoken up sooner too. And maybe you could have said, hey guys, the people that were tagged in that post didn't know anything. That was all me. That was my bad. I feel like maybe you should have stuck up for your friends too, a lot sooner. And instead of throwing them under the bus like you did with Zach and probably Carly.
She seems very manipulative. Just rude. Like, I don't know how these people were raised.
How could you make merch from something that hurt you so much?
Have you been in and out of sleep?
And he used this case about me never saying anything about not bullying people to just completely laugh off the anti-bullying, I guess, campaign I did. I don't think it was a campaign. I wanted to make something good from something bad. And some people might be shocked, like, how could you said this phrase hurt you so much, and now you look at it.
He made the, she had said that she was in and out of sleep, which is why she didn't respond to him, and then he went making fun of this in and out thing, and then she sold merch with in and out with proceeds going to Stomp by Bullying.
Hey, swipe up for in and out merch, 100% proceeds go to charity.
Which I can't believe this is being turned into something evil.
That you can't look at it as, hey, this thing that hurt me is now helping other people. With that being said, I do want to thank every single person who purchased the In-N-Out merch. It's still on sale, and it's still 100% proceeds. Will always be 100% proceeds goes to Stomp Out Bullying. Even to the people who shared it, tweeted about it, I don't know, Instagram storied it. Thank you so much, because We have raised over $10,000 already. This is our first round of donations, which I'm gonna insert in a mukbang later, but this is an email. It says, Dear Stephanie, although a formal thank you receipt is forthcoming, I want to send you my personal thanks for your extremely generous donation. There are no words to thank you. It is Stomp Out Bullying's purpose, passion, and commitment to help every student.
So why did nikocado turn this into something evil? Was something that this started from him being a bully?
And cyberbullying situations. Our help chat line has
If anything, she just clocked him
assisted over
and got to donate to charity in the process.
and saved the lives of over 2,000. Through our various networks, we have saved over a total of 6,000 lives. These numbers increase daily. Please know that your donation will be put to good use in helping kids and teens across the country feel safe in school, online, and in their communities. Wishing you and yours a very happy and healthy new year. With an abundance of gratitude, Ross Ellis, who is the founder of Stomp Out Bullying. And this email is not for me, this is to everyone. So no, In-N-Out merch is a good thing and we are helping people. So please don't bring it down.
Stephanie Sue has never posted, ever, a mukbang or a video on her channel that early.
You say it was a first time for me, so it's like, oh, she planned it because this is the first time she did this. It was also a first that I've never gone more than 2 days without posting on both of my channels. I've never made a video like that about another influencer. That was a first. I've never felt scared of another influencer. That was a first. So yeah, there was a lot of first. I don't know why you would think that all of a sudden I wanted to have this master plan to expose Nick for something. You say that I did this for views and that I'm doing it to monetize, especially when you talk about the In-N-Out merch. I wanted to sell that merch so that I could donate 100% of the proceeds to help people who felt the way that you made me feel. But why is that manipulation? When you went on to post so many pre-recorded videos knowing that everyone was clicking to see if you were responding.
Wow.
Posting this thumbnail of you eating Taco Bell, I'm not okay, and monetizing all of those. Wow. So when you do it, it's okay.
Wow.
I do it to create merch, to donate, it's manipulation. I think that's very scary that you have a pattern of behavior of doing this, and when someone points it out, instead of maybe thinking about, oh, did I make her feel uncomfortable? Oh shit, well, let me just say sorry. I don't know how you tried to make it so much more elaborate, throw people under the bus in your video, and blatantly lie in your video, and try to assassinate my character and twist my words in your video so that you can push a narrative that I set you up.
I'm a real person. What I said to her is what I would tell you.
What you said to me is that, awesome, when would you like to schedule? But what you said to Zach was, I'm gonna expose her tonight. And then what are you telling your audience? Because these all sound like different things.
But that's not my fault. It's also a lie because where are those sponsored posts? All these time-sensitive posts. How many videos has she made on her mukbang channel?
I did have a lot of sponsored posts, but I also skipped a lot of days on my mukbang channel. I felt weird coming back quickly with a sponsored video, so I've been holding it off. What's kind of frustrating is that if I don't post sponsored posts, Nick says she's a liar.
I already knew she was lying.
And then if she does, she's monetizing off of it.
If I post them, Nick will say probably she's money hungry and she did this drama so she could get sponsorships.
She is capitalizing on any little thing she can do.
I never did. I only respond to companies that reach out to me. And I think it's kind of crazy that you said, you know, I'm not a mind reader.
I'm not a mind reader.
But then you went on to say, I know.
I already knew.
She knows what she's doing. How do you know that? You're not a mind reader. But now you know that I know. If there's anything that I learned from this situation, it's that I'm so sorry to Veronica and anybody else that I've spoken about with Nick. That is 100% my fault. That's something that I'm learning from right now. But I think what people fail to realize is this isn't about a bunch of people that got caught talking shit. It's one of those feelings where I would never say this to just anyone that I first meet for the first time. But Nick has this way of making you feel so comfortable. It's almost like you have this feeling of like, holy shit, like it took me so long to find a good friend. And Nick, you are that friend, and you feel like he relates to you and you guys connect and he's compassionate and warm and all of these things that you end up feeling like you can just open up about everything to him. And he doesn't judge you for it, at least to your face.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
She's very, self-serving.
I didn't really like her.
And so it's a very big difference.
Yikes, yikes.
Me or Zach or anyone that he showed in his video that talked about people behind each other's backs. It's the way that he manipulates people and makes them feel like he cares and makes them truly feel like they can trust him. And then he turns around to use their words throughout the whole video, other than the text messages that I sent him in the group chat about the docuseries about Veronica. All of his other receipts and text messages and audio clips that he showed as evidence are just private conversations between him and other people talking badly about me.
Honey Eats doesn't like her. Kimmy doesn't like her.
Just really selfish. Stephanie Sue's straight up business. It's just rude. Like, I don't know how these people were raised. Yeah.
And then Zach goes, I wonder who her actual friends are. LOL.
I've just been in and out of sleep.
I just want to say that this video was ridiculous. This video was truly ridiculous.
All right, we'll leave it there because I want to read this. We've already raised over $10,000 for Stomp by Bullying. I don't want to let anyone try to stop us from helping more people. Thank you so much for all the support you've given this. We were able to raise so much thanks to each of you. I love you. Okay, but for real this time, I'm moving on. At this point, I believe with today's video and with my past 2.5 years on YouTube that I've shown you guys who I am, and I can only hope you guys see that. I don't care anymore if he responds with more lies or manipulation, because after this response, all I can see is he doesn't know how to tell the truth. I'm going to keep eating, posting, vlogging, and being happy. I'm also going to proudly support and wear the In and Out of Sleep merch, because we've already raised, like I said, over $10,000 from the launch. Regardless of what Nick says, we're doing something good for others. So just like that, Biss will never, ever wants to say or hear the words receipts or expose ever again. I just want to read about true crime and eat. I love you guys for supporting me and sticking with me even when people try to expose me. All right, so this is what I want to talk about before I close this video. So I did not know about her before this. A lot of people are asking me to watch her wedding videos. I don't know if I want to watch that. I don't really care about people's wedding videos. People said that she makes like true crime videos while eating, which I think is really weird, if I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to find one where she would be eating. Hold on. I'll click on this one. Is she really eating in these? She's not eating in that. Bride cheated with 2 men while wearing her wedding dress. Okay, well, from my knowledge, this one doesn't seem that deep. Cheated with 2 men. A-list celebrity cheated on her perfect husband. Okay, so it seems to be like cheating scandals she eats during, but I got a lot of comments saying she eats during like really deep, dark stories, which I'm trying to get to the bottom of right now, because I think that's really insensitive. If something ever happened to me like that and a fucking YouTuber makes a video talking about my disappearance and they're fucking stuffing their face with like 10,000 calorie challenge. Ooh, I'm coming back to haunt you. I'm coming back to haunt you. Her husband snuck out while she was asleep. Okay, she's eating in that one. The dark truth about Korean army enlistment. Okay, where are the really deep ones? Revealing the truth about the Titanic.
Was so big that whenever
I want a Titanic survivor to have to sit down and watch this video of Stephanie Sue eating whatever this is while she's revealing the truth about the Titanic. Wow. Here's the thing. I really don't like mukbangs. And if I'm intrigued in what and obviously there's an audience here, and that's, you know, I'm just not the demographic. But if I wanted to know about the secrets of the Titanic, I would be so distracted by like, I just can't with mukbangs. Anyways, I think this was a great follow-up video. I think she clocked him so bad. I'm gonna watch Nick's video after this, but I wanted to watch hers first because so many people were like, Adam, you have to watch her follow-up before you watch Nick's for like so much context. So we're gonna do that. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in my next one, and goodbye.